In a quiet town surrounded by golden fields and gentle hills, lived a boy named Ethan Parker. He wasn't rich, nor was he poor. He was ordinary, yet full of dreams too big for his small world. He wanted to travel, to build a life that sparkled. But there was one thing he didn't understand: the value of time. Ethan believed time was endless. Whenever his mother asked him to study, he would smile lazily and say, "I'll do it tomorrow." When his father called him to help on the farm, he'd yawn and reply, "There's still time, Dad." He didn't know that time isn't a river you can swim back into. It's a flood that only moves forward. Ethan's father, Robert Parker, a farmer with sunburned hands and a heart full of patience, woke before dawn every day. He worked from sunrise to sunset, believing in discipline, duty, and the clock's quiet truth. Often, while Ethan still slept, his father would look at him lovingly and whisper, "Son, time is life. If you waste time, you waste your life." But Ethan would turn on his side, pull the blanket over his head, and drift back to sleep. Days slipped into months. Ethan and his friends spent their afternoons under the big oak tree near the creek, laughing, sharing stories, and dreaming of bright futures they never worked for. "One day," Ethan said proudly, "I'll have a big house, a shiny car, and maybe even my own company." His friends cheered. But his books gathered dust, and his tomorrows never came. Then one morning, time stopped for Ethan. His father didn't wake up for work. The man who had never missed a sunrise now lay in bed, pale and trembling. The town doctor came, his voice heavy with worry. "It's his heart. He must rest. He needs medicine, expensive medicine." Those words hit Ethan like thunder. He ran his hands through his hair, his heart pounding. For the first time, he felt fear, the kind of fear that makes you see what you've lost. His father's eyes, once strong and steady, were filled with pain. And suddenly, Ethan understood. Time had moved on, and he had stood still. Days turned grey. The laughter under the oak tree faded. His friends, busy with jobs, college, their own lives, stopped visiting. At night, Ethan sat beside his father's bed. The old man's voice was weak but sharp enough to pierce his heart. "Son," he whispered, "I told you time is precious. You had it, but you didn't use it. Now time has run ahead, and you're trying to catch it." Tears filled Ethan's eyes. He wanted to shout, to turn back the clock. But the seconds ticked on, cold and merciless. The next morning, Ethan walked to the town church. He sat quietly on the cool wooden bench and watched life around him. The sun rising, the bell ringing, the people walking with purpose. Everything moved with time. Only he had stood still. For hours, he sat there, thinking, until a single thought anchored in his mind. If I cannot stop time, I must walk with it. From that day, Ethan changed. He woke before dawn. He took his father's place in the fields, his soft hands blistering under the plow. At night, he studied under the dim light of a lamp, tired, hungry, but determined. He learned from books, from older farmers, from anyone who knew more than him. He stopped talking about tomorrow and started building today. Slowly, life began to shift. He saved small coins, bought his father's medicines, and watched the color return to his cheeks. One evening, his father smiled, a weak, proud smile. That smile became Ethan's fuel. Years passed. Ethan continued to work and learn. He finished his education through online distance learning, his books marked with dirt from the fields. He studied soil science, crop rotation, organic growth. He built a small business selling natural fertilizers to nearby farmers. At first, no one believed in him. But his results spoke louder than his words. Fields that once gave little now bloomed with grain. Farmers began calling him Mr. Parker. He helped his community become a model of success and sustainability. One afternoon, a little boy from town came running to him. His eyes sparkled with curiosity. "Mr. Parker, what's the secret of your success?" Ethan smiled gently. "Time," he said. "I wasted it once and paid the price. But when I learned to respect it, time gave me everything I ever dreamed of." He paused, then added, "You can't stop time. You can't hold it. But if you walk with it, it will take you to beautiful places." The boy nodded, his heart touched, his mind awakened. That night, Ethan sat beside his father again. The old man, now grey but strong, held his hand and said softly, "You became the man I always hoped you'd be." Tears welled in Ethan's eyes. "I lost time once, Dad. I'll never lose it again." Outside, the stars shimmered over the fields. The same fields where he once wasted his days were now alive with harvest. The same clock that once mocked him now seemed to tick in rhythm with his heart. This story isn't just about Ethan. It's about you, and me, and everyone who keeps saying, "I'll start tomorrow." We waste hours scrolling screens, delaying dreams, waiting for a perfect moment that never comes. But time waits for no one. Every second that passes will never return. So start today. Read that book. Begin that plan. Call that person. Because life is made of time, and once it slips through your fingers, it's gone forever. Value your time, and life will value you back. The clock is ticking. What will you do with your next minute?